It was great to be the team captain. Steve Carter loved two things, being challenged and being the star. He was the best player on Dreadford's Vampires, the football team. The fans of the team were crazy about him. The cheerleaders loved him. And his mates considered Steve a role model. Of course, he was always ready and willing to support any of his fellows no matter what lay ahead. During a particularly cold night after the game, Steve was at a celebration party when he was approached by a beautiful young woman named Ava. She congratulated him on winning the game and offered him a beer, and he accepted. They talked for a long time about college and the future. She was very intense but also very interesting. She spoke many languages, knew a lot about history, and was thinking about getting her degree in astronomy. She has been fascinated by the stars and the cosmos since she was a little girl. They talked about how the cosmos can influence our future, and she knew Steve would have a great one. She kissed him, and it was the best kiss he had ever had. Before leaving, she told him the next day she and her friends would have a gathering at Mark Anthony Park, and that he should show up. Steve was there at the park at the appointed hour. He met Ava and was introduced to her friends, all women. They talked for a little while in the forest. It was spooky and eerie at times, but the girls were fun. When the moon was at its peak, Ava approached Steve and kissed him, and soon all of them came from all sides at him, kissing him as well. When he displayed any concern, she assured him he would feel pleasure beyond anything he had ever imagined. He just had to give in, and he did. From the darkness, individuals emerged enshrouded by heavy and thick hooded cloaks, their features obscured in the dim light. They approached and formed a circle around Steve and the girls. But Steve could not notice, as if he was bewitched. He was intensely absorbed as the witches took turns with him, writhing in ecstasy. Soon a deep chanting started by the cloaked individuals. Their leader lowered her hood, revealing a very old witch. While this took place, the old crone just watched silently. As Steve was covered in sweat and dirt, the chorus of chanting voices raised more and more intensely. The witches started dancing, and more voices joined into one. He felt a numbness spread through his body, and for his surprise, none of his limbs answered to his will. His arms and legs refused to move. Before he could understand what was happening, the old hag approached him, holding a chalice. She entrusted the chalice to the girl who invited him yesterday while she stood nearby. Steve could only watch as the old woman approached her face, and slowly her teeth became fangs. Her eyes were terrifying. Betrayed by his body that refused to move, Steve could not defend himself as she drank his blood. After each sip, she would stop and drop some blood from her wrists into the chalice. Each of the witches took turns drinking from the gift their leader offered, and waited anxiously while the vampire crone drank from him. After each of the witches had drank from the chalice, the leader made a gesture with her hand, and Stevie felt his eyes close, never to open again. And she drank all that remained inside him. As soon as she had finished her meal, the old witch turned away from the football player and walked back into the shadows. After a while, she reached a sinister cottage. Inside, she took an old telephone and made a call. She spoke with authority, even if her voice betrayed a disturbing decrepitude. As soon as a male voice answered on the other side, she spoke.
Arthur, my son, the Order has a mission for your daughter.